And welcome back, my fellow Silent Hill vacation goers and tourists, to Let's Play Silent Hill, for the last normal part of the series. Last time we were whisked away to nowhere. This is the final area of the game, and once we complete it, we will be at the final boss fight, and we will be seeing the ending in this video. Last time we got a rusty pair of pliers, a rusty screwdriver, and we used the rusty pliers to get the key of Ophiel. So let's open up the Ophiel door. Heading into the hallway that this leads us to, this is another section of the hospital. You may recognize this as being part of the second floor of the actual Alchemilla Hospital, but the slate that was there that was blank when we first visited the hospital now has something on it. Names engraved on a lithograph, the Grim Reaper's list. Yes, the head count is set, young and old, lined up in order of age. Then the pathway opens, awaiting them, the frenzied, uproar, the feast of death. That was a little awkwardly formatted, but that is a hint for a puzzle. Now let's go over to the slate that was here and had stuff written on it when we first visited the hospital, but did not actually mean anything to us. It is a list of people, and we are told by the Grim Reaper's list poem, or whatever you want to call it, that we need to organize them by order of age, and we can get a code from that. Now, if you've ever gotten a code via this kind of method, you can probably imagine it's the first letter of each name that we're looking for. So if you organize them from youngest to oldest, you will find that the word that spells out with the first letter of each name is alert. So we just punch that in to this keypad here. And there we go. Door is open. Let's head on through. Heading into this big storeroom here, there's actually nothing in here for us, so let's just blow past it, go right into the next room, which is the morgue from the hospital. Here we get the Amulet of Solomon. There are 5 religious icons for us to collect in Nowhere. They are necessary for us to unlock the final door that leads to the final boss. With that all said and done, when we return to the storeroom,
Harry?
Lisa, what's the matter with you?
I get it now. Why I'm still alive even though everyone else is dead. I'm not the only one who's still walking around. I'm the same as them. I just hadn't noticed it before.
Lisa.
Stay by me, Harry. Please. I'm so scared. Help me. Save me from them. Please. Harry?
Lisa.
So, the truth has been revealed. Lisa was never alive the whole time. She was in fact a puppet nurse, just for some reason or another, she didn't realize it, and she was able to still retain some of her facilities in death. If we come back into the room, we'll find that she's gone, but we find a journal here. There's a diary on the floor. Ask doctor to let me quit being in charge of that patient. It's too weird. Still alive, but with wounds that won't heal. Told the doctor I quit. Won't work at that hospital anymore. The room is filled with insects, even with doors and windows shut. They get in to spite me. To the hospital. Feeling bad. Need to throw up, but nothing comes out. Vomiting only bile. Blood and pus flow from the bathroom faucet. I try to stop it, but it won't turn off. Need drug. Help me. So, it seems that Lisa was in charge of a patient who had some pretty dire wounds that, while they were still alive, the wounds themselves were not healing properly. It also seems to imply that she had some kind of drug problem, which may or may not relate to the rumors of drug trafficking that we've been hearing throughout the game. With that all said and done, let me see if I can find the right door. There's one more room that we can go into in here. The rest of the doors are jammed. Coming into here, we're going to find a bunch of plaques on the wall that have numbers on them, and pictures. So 2 with the scales. The fish have 0 for some reason. Let's see, the ram has 4. And the crab has 10. Now, you may recognize some of these as astrological symbols, but this is not an astrology puzzle. The thing that is connecting these is that each thing has a number of limbs. The scale has 2 limbs, so to speak. The crab has 10 limbs, the ram has 4 limbs, and you may disagree with this given fish's biology, but the logic they're going with here is that fish have no limbs, so that's why that is marked with 0. So, with that logic in mind, we've got a picture of an ox here. You can give it a 4. Over on the left, a picture of a centaur, or perhaps Sagittarius if you prefer. Give that a 6, since, the 4 horse legs and the 2 arms to string the bow. Then we've got a Gemini here. That, of course, is 2 sets of 4 limbs, giving us 8 altogether. Put in the right numbers, and out pops this stone. Once again, that's another moment where the game's frame rate just suddenly jumps up for a really inconsequential animation. I am not sure what the deal is with that, but we get the Stone of Time. Now, you may remember I pointed out that there was an indent in the clock in the antique room that we could put into... Oh, no, not this door. Let's get in through this one. Not even gonna bother killing that nurse, there's no reason to. This one, though, is in our way. And I'll give her a quick kick. Back to the antique room. Heading into here, we just stand in front of the clock and use our Stone of Time on it. And after the clock begins to chime, apparently it's 5 o'clock now, and yeah, oof, sorry Harry. But yes, once it explodes, we can get the Key of Haggith from the busted faceplate. Back out in here, the Haggith door is this one in the far back, so use the Key of Haggith, and this takes us into an elevator room. No 4th floor to go to this time. Now, if I was just playing this casually, I'd just go straight to the 3rd floor, since I already know the solution we need for the puzzle up there, but technically you're not supposed to know it on your first playthrough, so let's do this in the intended order. Let's go to the 2nd floor. Heading into the 2nd floor, nothing in the elevator entry room. We want to just take out a couple of these nurses. And I think, tag this one with a shot. Yeah, she's dead. This room right here, I believe. Yes, this is the only one that we can get into in this hallway. Here we get our next religious symbol, the Crest of Mercury. Get some rifle shells, since we've been using a few of those. Those will come in handy. And there's one more item you want to get here. This is the Ring of Contract. We need this item for a certain, not necessarily puzzle, but sequence of events later. Now thinking about it with the items that we found here, this is the room from the mall that we could go into before fighting the Twin Feeler. I think this is supposed to be a jewelry store. I wasn't sure if it was like a jewelry store or an antique store. Just give that lady a quick couple blasts. Nothing else to do in this hallway, so let's just move on to the next one. There we go. We want to go into this room right here. It is not necessary to come in this room, but if you want to know what to do on the 3rd floor, you have to come here on your first playthrough. So let's get these handgun bullets right here. And in the back of the room, on this table, there's a camera. Bit of a weird-looking camera, but whatever. That's a camera. It works for our purposes. One more room to check out here, and a couple more nurses to take down. Oh, whoops. One of them respawned. Come on, Harry. Point at the one that is hostile, and then we'll just kick this one down. The one other room we can check out here is this one right out here. And we want to head into the back, and you may recognize this room from the normal hospital once again. Well, I say normal. It was also a nightmare area, but this is the steel plate room. Now we actually have a screwdriver, so we can get this steel plate off of here. But we find a key behind the plate. However, It is wrapped in electrical wires and is thoroughly electric itself. And unfortunately, despite Harry having numerous tools at his disposal that could probably let him get this thing out without electrocuting himself, we need to do a specific thing to make that key available to get. Alright, we can ignore the other nurses here. This double doors, once we unlock it, it takes us back to the first floor hallway, and this is kind of emphasizing the chaotic nature of Nowhere's layout. Of course, we just took a door on the second floor and are immediately warped back to the first floor. Now that we have the camera, we can go to the third floor, since this allows us to solve the puzzle up here. The solution to the puzzle here, like so many other solutions in Silent Hill, it's the same every playthrough, so once you know them, you can just punch them in immediately, and hey, wait a second. I'm starting to suspect that that girl isn't Cheryl, but actually a younger Alessa. She looks so much like Cheryl. Now, if you examine the paintings back here, yeah, these are pretty horrifying to look at, but it mentioned a light illuminating the darkness. Well, this camera has a flash, so that might be close enough. And it reveals some symbols on it. So let's see, we've got an arch up top, a plus sign, and a triangle. So, on these doors, we have these keypads that allow us to push in these buttons to create shapes. So, obviously, what we have to do is just create the shapes that we saw in the picture that we just got with the camera flash. And we want a triangle facing this way. Or, I must have that wrong. Whoops. I was just looking at it, and I've already lost track of what I'm looking at. Oh, shoot. No, wait, maybe I had it right, and I just had the wrong buttons pressed. Okay, hold on, I clearly misremembered. Oh, I had it in the wrong position. Okay, so the arch is up here. The triangle is here. There's no reason to open this door, so I don't have this solution as nearly cleanly as memorized as I do the other one. There we go. Sorry about that, little embarrassing, but it is what happened. The reason I had that messed up is the other one has a triangle, and that solution has the triangle on the top one. Here, we get a health drink in this room. There's a bunch of papers scattered around, but doesn't seem like we can interact with any of them. And this actually relates to a bit of either a bug or a coding error in the North American version of Silent Hill. Let's see. White Claudia, perennial herb found near water, reaches height of 10 to 15 in oblong leaves, white blossoms. Seeds contain a hallucinogen. Ancient records show it was used for religious ceremonies. The hallucinogenic effect was key. So, that's relating back to the drug trafficking information. I believe you can only examine that note if you examine the 2 documents in the police station, or at the very least the one about White Claudia. But there's another document that's supposed to spawn here, but it's a random chance. However, in the North American version of Silent Hill, this document will never spawn, either due to a bug or a coding error. It does spawn in the Japanese and European versions, and the English text is available within this game's files, and it's the same text that appears in the European version. So I think I'll just post in the pinned comment below the video what that document says, because it is relevant to a certain aspect of Alessa that is alluded to in certain places, but isn't too heavily elaborated on or explained otherwise. Let's see, we just need to use the camera again. And here we go. So we got an arrow, got a backwards L, and we've got another triangle. So let's make the arrow. Arrow is kind of a weird shape. It doesn't translate super well to the button layout, but close enough, close enough. Backwards L is easy enough to make. Basically just flipping the arch when you get right down to it. And then, of course, the triangle up here. There we go. Doors open. Heading into here, there's not nearly as much decorating this room, but there is a key on this chair here, a birdcage key. So, now we have a key to a birdcage. It stands to reason we can use it to open that birdcage that we saw on the first floor. So let's get back there. And we'll just skip ahead. Once again, we'll ignore the nurse in here, and that's the last time we need to go through that room, so I'm not worried about leaving that nurse alive by the elevator. She can live, she can live. In here, we of course got the birdcage, so let's walk in front of it, and hopefully I'm standing in the right spot, yeah. And upon opening the birdcage, we can get the key of Phaleg here. That allows us to open up the final door that we can see that has an inscription on it, And beyond this door, we find the basement's basement, and there are enemies here, but oh, hey! And these are the final enemy of the game, the Stalkers. They are, evolved forms of the larval Stalkers, but instead of squeaky baby toys like the larval Stalkers, they are in fact palette swaps of the Grey Children, capable of actually harming you. Don't have too many rifle shells left, but I'm not overly concerned about using them for anything else. Anyways, we've got a few rooms to check out here. Let's go into this one first. Now, in here, we have a sort of refrigerator with a dagger in it, and a chain across the refrigerator. Yeah, what the heck, let's take this dagger. Now, I'm just going to pause it right here and make a save state real quick. So, let's just make that save state. And let's back up without doing anything else with the refrigerator. And upon removing the dagger, well, it seems like something was being pinned in place with that. And yes, if you take that dagger out without doing the proper steps to stop that from happening, you die. What we need to do is, either before or after taking the dagger, it does not matter, you need to put the Ring of Contract onto the refrigerator. Doing so will bind the chain, and once we attempt to leave the room, here's some banging coming from in there, but whatever the heck it was that just killed Harry previously, it is not able to break through the chain, so we're safe now. We can get out of here. Thought I'd just show off that death there, because it's a very unique death scene. It's one of the few non-standard game overs in the game. Sorry, hiccup. Going into this room. That was ominous. However, there is another religious icon we need to get here. An Ankh. Notice that these religious icons seem to be from a variety of religions and mythoses. Well, that's neither here nor there. It is very easy to accidentally examine the graffiti on the wall when you're trying to leave the room. It's kind of silly, honestly. Heading back out and into this storeroom. Got a health drink to grab here. Over on this shelf, we've got some handgun bullets. Even though I'm not using them, I may as well grab them because it makes me feel good. And over here, what's this? It's not a blood pack. Hey, some jelly beans. You know, we haven't eaten anything since we got here, so I'm sure Harry's feeling a little peckish. Let's open this up and take a snack. Better than nothing, right? A man cannot live on health drinks alone, and unfortunately we do not get to eat any jelly beans, but in grand Silent Hill tradition, there was a key in there. So let's take that. We got the Key of Bethor. You may have noticed that we passed by a door with an inscription on it on our way here. The Key of Bethor goes to that door. Inside this room, which this is an optional room, but hey, TV with a VCR. Well, the last TV with a VCR, we couldn't get too much good out of the tape that we played on it, but maybe this one we'll have better odds with. Let's try it out.
Still has an unusually high fever. Eyes don't open. Getting a pulse, but just barely breathing. Her skin is all charred. Even when I change the bandages, the blood and pus just start oozing through. Why? What is keeping that child alive? I can't stand it any longer. I won't tell a soul. Promise. So please.
So, it seems like Lisa was charged with caring for a severely burned girl, and with all the things that we've been seeing and how this all relates together, you probably won't be surprised or have a hard time guessing that that girl was Alessa. But how did she get burned? Well, that document that I mentioned that has a random chance of spawning in the room on the 3rd floor, that document would explain the events surrounding Alessa's immolation. But that is something that is never elaborated upon in the American version. You'd have to wait until Silent Hill Origins to figure that out if you're a US player. I was being a little sardonic there. Anyways, inside this room we find the hospital generator. We need to flip that off, and you can probably figure out where this is going. That key that was electrified before, we can now grab it safely. So let's head back through with this convenient shortcut to the 2nd floor, and some stalkers will be here, so we just want to wait for them to get close. take a couple rifle shots. They have the same HP as the Grey Children, so 2 rifle shots will take them down, no problem. Oop. Yeah, they are actually really difficult to see, so it is pretty easy to get caught out by them. Alright. I do want to make absolutely sure that I'm at full health, because it's going to be important for the boss fight. We've used up pretty much all our rifle ammunition, so I'm going to switch off to the handgun. Larval Stalkers do have a chance of respawning when you leave the room, so we want to make sure that we are prepared for them with a gun that is fully loaded. Here we get the last key, the Key of Aratron. Now, if you don't mind me being a stupid nerd for a moment, logically, this key having a constant stream of electricity flowing through it would warp it and render it unusable, but this is a video game following video game logic, so we do not have to worry about that. There are some stalkers in here, but we can just easily ignore them, just hang a left and immediately go past them. Key of Aratron goes to this last inscription door right here, and inside this room,
everything is going according to plan, sheltered in the womb.
But it's not done yet. Half the soul is lost. That is why the seed lies dormant.
And what soul remains captured in that husk is buried deep down in the subconscious.
Are you trying to say it won't work? That wasn't our agreement.
No, these are just stalling tactics. If we lend a hand, we will be able to get power. Never fear, the promise shall not be broken.
But the power we could draw now will be very weak. Almost nothing. Unless we get the other half of the soul.
We'll use a magical spell. Feeling this child's pain, it's sure to come.
But that will take time.
Seems to be some kind of memory of earlier days, but I noticed that Michael Kaufman was in there, so it seems like all along he was actually in bed with Dahlia Gillespie, but for some reason or another, I'm going to assume that they fall out, because they certainly aren't working together now. We get the final religious icon that we need, the Disc of Ouroboros. Now that we have grabbed all those items, we can enter the final room of Nowhere. This final room is a small girl's bedroom, it seems. Just a bunch of items here. Looks like this is Alessa's bedroom. Seems to have had an interest in etymology, specifically butterflies and moths. Anything else we can remark on here? Some cards are scattered all over the floor. Harry doesn't seem to have any thoughts on the pictures adorning the wall. Anything in here? And just looks like some kind of school uniform. Okay. Well, that's all there really is to say here. What about this cabinet? Anything here? No. So here we've got a door, and there are several indentations on it. Thou possess them to guard thy spirit, evoke 5 rights, unveil thy fate. So, naturally, we have to put in all of the icons that we have been collecting thus far to this door. So, we'll start with the Amulet of Solomon, and work our way down. We've got the Crest of Mercury, the Ankh, the Dagger of Melchior, and, of course, the final one, the Disc of Ouroboros. Putting those all together, in what is one of the more convoluted locking systems I've ever seen, the door will open. We have one last notepad we can save our game on, so we should probably do that right now, because we are going into the final boss fight. Now, for the final boss fight, I want to have the shotgun equipped. Many people there are 2 strategies that you can use on the final boss. The first and most straightforward one is the rifle tank strategy, I like to call it. Basically, you just stand in one place, fire rifle shots, and then heal Harry as his damage accrues, and that's a very easy way to defeat the boss. The faster way to do it, that's a little bit riskier, but is rewarding if you can do it right, is the shotgun method, which we'll be detailing that when we get into the fight proper. For now, though, let's head on through the door and see the final cutscenes of the game before the final boss.
No! No! I don't want to! Do what Mommy tells you now. I just want you to lend me a teeny bit of your power. That's all. No! I don't want to do it. It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good, too. Oh, but Mommy, I just want to be with you. Just two of us. Please understand. Oh, yes, I see. Maybe Mommy has been wrong. Mommy! Why didn't I see this before? There's no reason to wait. Herein lies the mother's womb, containing the power to create life. I could have done it all myself. Mommy? I was shocked to realize the talisman of Metatron was being used. In spite of the lost soul returning at last. Just a little longer and all would have been for naught. It's all because of that man. We must be thankful to him. Even though Alessa has been stopped, his little girl has to go. What a pity.
Freeze! What in the devil's name? Ah!
Dahlia.
Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far.
Where's Cheryl? What have you done to her?
What are you talking about? You've seen her many times, restored to her former self.
I'm in no mood for jokes.
Don't you see? She's right there.
That's absurd.
You are the only one who thinks so.
Why? Why are you doing this?
It's been a long 7 years. For the 7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alessa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. He has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come. The time is nigh. Everyone will be released from pain and suffering. Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise. My daughter will be the Mother of God.
Quit screwing around. Return things to how they were before.
Kaufman!
Did I ask for this? Nobody uses me. You won't get away with this.
Your role is over. We don't need you anymore. What do you think you could accomplish by coming here?
My, aren't we getting cocky? Bet you can't see this.
Gluttonous! I thought I got rid of that!
All I had to do was plant it somewhere for you to find. You all, well, it kept you busy. Ah, you're easy. And there's more where this came from.
Stop it!
Huh? What the?
Ooh, alright, so there's quite a bit to go over there. So we're at the final boss fight, Incubus. It looked like Alessa had reformed, became whole, and had become a being known as the Incubator, but Michael Kaufman came in, or perhaps Michael Kaufman, they kind of go back and forth on the pronunciation, and chucked that vial that we found during his side quest at the Incubator, thus resulting in the Incubus being born prematurely. Now, we are going to do the shotgun method on the Incubus, which is I'm going to run forward, get close to it, fire 6 shots, try to run in an aggressive circle to avoid its attack. The Incubus attacks by striking with lightning. One single hit of it will put you into critical status. You need to immediately heal that up with an ampule, and then you just need to wait out the strikes and intermittently heal with health drinks in order to survive it. Let's see if we can get through this without that happening. So, yeah, let's go forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we want to start running. No. So, yeah, because I was delaying a little bit to pause the game, I didn't get the cycle correctly, so we need to wait out some of these fights. So let's do some heroin, and then pour back a couple protein drinks. And, yeah, just do another one. And do another one. Okay, so that should be the end of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, never mind. Okay, so 12 shots point blank will kill it. Well, that was not how I was hoping that to go at all, but whatever, we win. So, in her final moment, Alessa finally got to use her power for some form of good, saving Harry and Sybil so they can make their escape. That was the good plus ending of Silent Hill, the best ending you can get, and the only ending that you need to worry about if you're going for a 10-star ranking, but we'll go over that when we get to it. So, yes, that is the main game of Silent Hill. That final boss did not go how I was hoping, since I kind of bungled the execution, having to stop and explain it real quick, but that's okay. We took it out quick enough, so no big deal there. I really hope you enjoyed watching this Let's Play. I had a lot of fun practicing this game, getting good enough at it to do it reasonably quickly, and overall just writing it out and going through everything. It's been a ton of fun to play. I have a new appreciation for this game. I've always kind of liked its sequels better, but I've started to really build up a fondness for this game for just like how quick to the point it is, and its general atmosphere is very rich, and definitely it does the most with the actual town of Silent Hill, so I appreciate that aspect of it. For the rest of this Let's Play, we do have a couple things to go over. First off, when you complete the game, you get to save a clear file, which allows you to play the New Game Plus mode known as Next Fear. There are a whole host of unlockables for Next Fear that I want to show off. Additionally, there's a special ending you can only get in Next Fear, so we'll definitely be going over that. As well, I have recorded all of the various endings of the game, so I'll append that to the end of the next video where we cover Next Fear and the special secret joke ending of the game. Other than that, I have also recorded a 10-star playthrough that I will upload as the final video to the series and the last part of the playlist. That's going to be largely non-commentated. I'm going to put a disclaimer at the start of it, as well as a commentated breakdown of the criteria for 10-star ranking at the end of the video, but otherwise that'll just be a sort of long play video that won't have any commentary from me. But yeah, I just had a ton of fun playing this game. Classic horror game, highly recommend checking it out. Like most horror games, there's a certain kind of experience to it that you can only really feel if you're playing it personally, preferably with a good environment, headphones in the dark, all that, but it's just great stuff, so highly recommend it if you love horror games. That's where I'm going to leave this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.